I'm still adjusting to this change in the clocks last weekend. Right, I have quite a busy day today. So busy, I've had to make a list. Put a bit of extra tea in today's cup of tea. There we go. Right, leave that sleep. We just opened the back door and the cats are just stood behind the camera there. Thank you very much to Rainy, who sent me this beautiful mug. It's a very nice size. You get a good quality cup of tea in there. So thank you very much for Rainy for the first Christmas present of 2025. When I was looking through my bag last night, I remembered I brought the milk home from the allotment. So I'm not in that much of a rush now to go out and buy some more. But like I said, tomorrow is a big day down on the homestead. A few people have offered to come down and help. And there were so many people that offered to help. What I thought was, rather than having 20 people there at the same day, I thought it would be much easier and I wouldn't feel overwhelmed by everything, of just doing it in smaller groups. So the first set are coming tomorrow, and also it's easier for me to provide food and cakes and teas and everything. So the things that I need to do today, right, where's my list? That's the question. Right, so I need to go and get tea bags. Must not forget tea bags. Milk, sugar, because I don't have sugar, but they might. Cake, biscuits. I'm going to take the cake stand down as well. I've got the table, which I can use from the shed. That can be used to lay out all the food and everything. Felt tacks. Bitumen paint. Now, I've never had bitumen paint. I've just put the felt on the roof and put tacks in, and I've done that for every shed that I've had. But that site, the homestead site, is a windy site, so I was advised by somebody to put bitumen down first. So I don't know if that's over the whole thing or if it's just on the seams. We'll find out. A brush, gloves, and 4 bags of bark chippings. Now originally I wanted the path to have this National Trust golden gravel self-binding, and I've had it in the past and it's looked really nice, but because of my back in the last few weeks, I have been able to dig out the path and lay the foundations down. So what I thought was, in the meantime, because the lavender will hopefully be planted tomorrow, in the meantime I will just put weed suppressant down and a few bags of bark chippings on top, and then in the winter, when hopefully I'm back to normal, I can just lift that and then put the proper path in. That's the plan. Now I could go to the local garden centre down the road, the big one, you know, the B&Q ones and things like this, but I thought what I'd do is I'll go and support a local community place. So at some point today, I'm going to go over the mountain, over to Hirwine. In fact, I went there, when was it? About a month ago, and the place was closed. But I've emailed them today to ask, do you have bark chippings, and how much is it? Do you take cash or card, and are you open? So they're open till 2 o'clock today. So I was hoping to go to the community centre, because midweek they do a Sunday lunch, and I was hoping to go and experience that, but I think I might have to forget about it today and do that on Sunday, because all this stuff has to be done today, because it's all got to be in place for tomorrow when people turn up. So I'm going to enjoy this cup of tea because it is certainly the calm before the storm. A happy storm, but a busy day storm. Oh, I think I'll go and sit in the garden and freeze myself. I find nothing better wakes you up in the morning than going outside and experiencing a cold draft up your gusset. Oh yes. I need to find a long brush that I can attach maybe a little hose pipe to clean those windows. Right, this bumblebee's just come in. That's a sign that spring is here. It's going to be a good warm day. But I'm going to try and get it out. Come on, Bumble. Oh, he's having a rest now. I'll just wash myself here before I go out and do some more flying. Oh yes, just take that itch off at the back there. Oh yeah. Offer it up. Come on, catch a lift. There you go. Just sit on the top of that. There we go. And it's gone away. Right, we close that. I'm going through that again. Right, time for breakfast. I'm using up the last of these mushrooms. And to be honest, the fridge is looking somewhat bare at the moment. Got a busy day today and tomorrow, and then Friday I'm going to sit down and actually work out my food for the week, for next week. So I'm going to fry these mushrooms. Now I don't know where I got this from, so I don't know whether it's right or whether it's wrong. But I put a bit of extra virgin olive oil in the pan because it's not a non-stick one, it's an old-fashioned pan. I don't know if that's right or whether it should be a knob of butter. That's the problem. You read some information this week, and the next week they contradict it. I remember once there was something about a glass of red wine a night is good for the body. 6 months later, they said that it wasn't. And at the end of the day, does anybody really know? So I think the cupboards will run bare until it's absolutely essential I get something. So there are the mushrooms. So we put them on a pan. I find if you put a lid on top, it keeps them a bit moister. Oh, I got a bit too many there. Right. See, there's nothing else here. Everything's running down like rations. Shall I have another cup of tea? Because that one's gone a bit cold now. Fussing around with that bumblebee. Oh, I can see the thermometer outside. It's creeping up to 10 degrees. They say that tomorrow is going to be even hotter than today. As long as it's good enough to be out on the homestead. Are you a loose leaf sort of person? I've got loads that I need to use up. I have about 20 packets. Remember, I bought them last year when I first came here. And there they are. I've got loads of them stacked away in the back there. Cups. I need to take some mugs down to the homestead, ready for tomorrow. Right, what else am I having then? Like I said, there's not a lot in the house. I give these mushrooms a bit of a shake. So a week Sunday on the 13th is a full moon. And if you've been watching for a while, you will know I like to do gardening by the moon. And 2 days before a full moon is the perfect time for planting and sowing. If you're in Australia, it's a different time, so you'll have to sort that out yourself. So I am planning next week to put my potatoes in the ground. And I'll do that on either the 11th or the 12th. And when I was researching this many years ago, when I first got into it, I remember Steve from the channel Green Side Up saying that he believed in it all because of his experience with fishing. He said it is well known in the fishing community that if you fish at certain times of the month, then you get a better catch. Right, check that for shell. Just don't want to crunch into that dew. Bit of milk. I'm going to get some powdered milk for the allotment, just as a backup. Don't remember buying this Country Life butter. Oh, I bought it for the 1940s thing that I was going to do. But we'll have a little knob of that. There you go. Oh, I was just about to show you how big that was then, but my knob fell off and went in the drink. Talking about drink, I am planning a little trip away to the Brecon Beacons in the coming weeks. Not around Easter. I don't want to be there with all the crowds, so maybe I'll go just before Easter or just after. But I'm looking for suggestions on things to go and visit. Now, the only thing that's on my list so far is the market. I think that's a Tuesday, or is that the Abergavenny market? I'll have to have a look in. So I'll go on a market day and see what's occurring there. And I also want to go and visit the canal system, because I do love a narrowboat. Well, let me refrain that. I love watching narrowboat YouTube channels, but I don't think I've ever been on one. So I thought I'll go up and have a little visit, see what's it all about, Alfie. And who knows, might do a bit of investigation and see how much it would be to rent a narrowboat for, I don't know, for the weekend, from a Friday to a Monday morning, something like that. See how easy it is to drive. When I was thinking about coming back to Wales, the other suggestions that were on my list was a camper van or a narrowboat. One of the channels that I love to watch is called Floating Our Boat with Fran and Rich. And they're not too far away from me at the moment. I think they're about 2 hours away. So I was going to possibly see if they're still in the area in a few weeks' time and see if they were up for a visit. I know in one of their recent videos they were saying that they've noticed a distinct lack of wild garlic in the countryside at the moment. And I was thinking, yes, I need to plant the garlic that I've got, which is still outside in the water, but it seems to be doing really well. Right, where's that lid? Let's put the lid on this, so let them sweat for a bit. Now I don't know where I've got this from, but I do like, just as the mushrooms are coming to their end, I do like to put a little drizzle of balsamic vinegar onto my mushrooms. Give that a bit of a toss. There they are, look. Beautiful. I'm also used to this cooker now, where I find if you switch it off, it carries on cooking, and therefore you can save a bit of cash. Right, let me sort these eggs out, and I'll start to plate up. And there we go. That is the breakfast for today. Beautiful. So I'm going over to Hirwine to the community garden shop, but I thought it's such a beautiful day, I can't just go over the Ricos mountain without stopping and admiring the view, and it is an absolutely stunning day. Look at that. Now if you watch the live feed, which is in the members section, you'll notice on the top right hand side occasionally there is a flashing light, and that is this road. It's when cars go beyond the road, so I can just see the homestead from up here. But what's amazing is you can just come up, go for a walk in the trees if you wanted to. Look at that. On a nice hot day, this is the best place to be. Say 2 minutes from the car and you're in having an adventure. Right, let's get back in that car because I don't want to miss this community shop, because I need the bags of bark for the big day tomorrow on the homestead.
3/4 of a mile.
Well, this is what I'm after. Bark chippings. Landscape bark. Right, just have a little walk around them.
Alright.
Alright. Found you at last.
Oh.
I've been over a few times, but you've been closed.
Yeah, we close 10. We're open 10 till 2 every day.
Right.
But from next week I'll be extending the hours by about an hour and a half.
They got seats in here. Although I'm pretty well off for seeds. But it's nice to know for the future to support a local venture. Look, they've got all this in here. I wasn't expecting it to be this much. Fuchsias, petunias. Oh, it's a beautiful smell coming into a greenhouse after the watering's been done. There's loads of stuff. Ah, look, they buy them in trays and they pot them up themselves. Petunia, so all this is the hanging basket stuff. You've got loads of stuff.
Oh yes, yeah.
How much is that? 50.
Sorry?
How much is that? 650.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yeah, it's pretty much in the autumn.
Right, I'm Howard. I help out with the Hidwine Garden Society. It's totally voluntary. Basically, we started it all up during lockdown, COVID, expecting just to have a couple of visitors, and it absolutely has taken off since then.
All right.
There's quite a few of us involved. There's no money involved financially for us. It's totally voluntary, and it's all for the community. And I think you'll find with the produce that we got, you'll have the best selection anywhere in Wales, in my eyes anyway.
It's a lot bigger than I thought. Like you said, there's a fantastic selection.
Yeah, at the moment.
And I can't get over the prices. I'm sure you've got to add a zero on a few of them.
Well, we got people travelling from far and wide to come here, so obviously we must be doing something right. At the moment we are down on stock because the main influx will come now in April. So we're all looking forward. Oh, definitely come back in April. But last year we had 8,000 plug plants. Every single one of them went. It took us 2 weeks to pot them up, mate. But that's the enjoyment of it, and we get volunteers coming in who say it helps their well-being and relaxes them, as gardening does, as I'm sure you know. I feel empowered by it.
Sometimes something like this, it's more about having a cup of tea and a chat.
It is, and everybody is welcome to come down here. You can park in the local pub opposite and walk down. There's always somebody handy here to give solid advice on what they want to grow, and we're there for them.
So what are the opening times?
So at the moment, our opening times are from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, and that's every day. But next week we will be opening from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock every day.
And it includes bank holidays.
Which will include bank holidays.
And just so people know, is it cash card?
It's both. We are trying to get into crypto, but we haven't pursued that avenue at the moment.
Gold?
We'll take anything, basically.
So I ended up buying some plants that I didn't want, but the prices were so good. So 4 bags of bark and all these plants, plus that very tall camellia, £50. It's amazing. So if you are coming here, look for the Glancannan pub, and it's just down the lane. Just before we go, just have a look at these buildings there. Look at them, they're absolutely beautiful, full of history. Nice little village here, although it reminds me of a TV set. If you're in Wales, you would know Pobl y Cwm. That's what this reminds me of. Right, let's go back over the Ricos Mountain now. I always feel on this stretch of road as if we're taking off on the runway. That's the mountain, known to the locals over here as Treherbert Mountain, because it heads over to Treherbert. But it is an absolutely stunning day, and tomorrow is going to be even better. Now, many years ago, there used to be an ice cream man here, but because of the rising cost for the license to have his pitch, he's moved. So unfortunately, there's nothing here to eat or drink, and I'm getting a bit peckish. But I thought, seeing as I'm up here, I'll stop. This is called the Ricos Mountain, and I'll give you a little viewpoint because it is a stunning day today. The visibility is gorgeous, and we will look across to the Brecon Beacons. So there we go, right in the horizon is the Brecon Beacons National Park. And that mountain I told you about, that's Pen y Fan, the highest peak in South Wales, which is 886 metres above sea level. And then we've got the Llyn Reservoir down there. It's always windy up here, but I cannot remember the last time I saw the view as spectacular as this. It's just a shame that I'm not chomping on an ice cream at the same time. Right, I've managed to phone ahead to the community cafe because I want to try out their midweek lunch, which is a Sunday lunch. So I'm looking forward to this. There's absolutely loads of things going on here, but unfortunately they need some funding, otherwise it might close. But see, there's loads of stuff. And then on a Wednesday and a Sunday they do a roast dinner. Look at those prices. And they deliver, and then also as well deliver to your house. Oh look, what's this event? Free photo restoration on Wednesday the 9th if you're in the area.
I will be going to Liverpool.